The big news right now in the NFL is that wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. has signed in LA with the Rams. The number one question here with OBJ and the X factor here. What's Odell's attitude going to be like? Because he gave up on Cleveland. He forced his way out. It's very clear Odell did not want to be in Cleveland. Now, I would imagine he's pumped, not only to be a star in LA, to win games, to maybe win a Super Bowl. Like, Odell better bring his best because that's a good life if you want it. But I want to point out here, here's why I'm confident that Odell's going to work very, very well in LA with the Rams. Not only is it that he's got Matthew Stafford throwing him the football, he's paired up with another good receiver, Cooper Kupp. Also, hey, Van Jefferson's pretty good too, a good number 3. Like, he's probably better suited to be a number 3 than a number 2. He's got Sean McVay calling plays. They had a good defense. They've got, they added Von Miller. But here's the real thing. The real reason why Odell is going to work, I think, best in LA is he wants to be there. It's the first time in Odell's NFL career he's gotten to choose where he wanted to play. That's invaluable. Like, as someone who lives where I really want, like, I live somewhere that I always dreamed of wanting to live. In a tiny apartment near the beach, I'm happy. And that is the most invaluable thing you can have in your entire life. Every day you go about your life, everything's a little bit better. You're like, man, I'm so glad to be here. I always wanted to be here. It's amazing. What a blessing. And I really think this is going to be a great move for Odell. LA's closer to a Super Bowl. Again, Cooper Kupp, OBJ, Sean McVay calling plays, Matthew Stafford. It's going to be a home run. The Rams right now, the Rams or Tampa should be the Super Bowl favorite. The AFC is a mess right now. I don't know what to make of it. And I got to mention the way, there's not a lot more to be said here, but the way the Rams players recruited OBJ really hard is pretty cool. You had Von Miller, you had Jalen Ramsey apparently FaceTiming OBJ, and OBJ's like, am I wanted here? And Jalen Ramsey just walked right to the receiver room and he's like, FaceTime these guys. And he's like talking to Cooper Kupp and Van Jefferson. They're like, come, we want you. Like, man. And then literally, I guess hours later, OBJ signed with the Rams. The Rams welcomed him and said, we want you. We're going to make it happen. And you know who? Shame on the Packers, man. Green Bay. If you're not aggressive, you miss out. The Packers were not aggressively pursuing Odell Beckham Jr. How ironic would it be? Here's what I want to lay out, a potential future. I love this. I love to think about what could be. What if the Packers lose to the Rams in the NFC title game? And the Rams go to the Super Bowl instead of the Packers because Odell Beckham Jr. has the game-winning touchdown. What if that really could happen? And it'd be year 3 in a row that the Packers have lost in the NFC title game. So, man, I felt like the Packers, did Aaron Rodgers not call him? Did they, like, what happened? How did no one, and maybe OBJ just was never going to go to Green Bay. Like, although I don't buy that because the reports all said that. And I just feel like the Packers here are the team that you're like, they could have had OBJ. And they could at least made a better move to go get him. And it's pretty clear the Packers were not aggressive again. And if you're not aggressive, you miss out. And that's a good lesson for life here. Now, don't take that and be aggressive in every scenario. But, man, if you have an opportunity, like a really cool opportunity to get a great job or live somewhere cool or, I one time got offered a job and they said, you got to come to LA tomorrow. Like, you have to move to LA tomorrow. And at lunch, I worked at a car wash at the time. I got offered a job working on a movie. And I'm like, I'm going to leave right now. And I literally quit my job on my lunch break. I said, I'll finish my shift. And my boss said, you're fine, go home. I left my car wash, packed up my car that night, and drove overnight to LA, from Portland to LA. Because I was hungry. I'm like, I knew if I don't say yes, they're going to call someone else and give them the job. And I'm in Portland. Other people are going to call her in LA. I'm going to lose out on this job. So I just went for it. The Rams went for it. The Packers did not. And I think the Rams are going to have a huge home run. By the way, I called this last episode. I was talking to Marcus Whitman from, that franchise guy. And I was like, look, if the Packers don't get him, what if the Rams are probably going to slide in with an offer and be like, we want you more. And that's exactly what happened.